Hello everyone, good evening. We are back. Cheers. Happy Friday, Lee.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be back on the old pod of the, is it podcast? Videocast? Whatever it is.
Podcast. We're live and kicking. Cheers. Now, we've gone live, so as we normally do, let's circulate the old live links. So please bear with us while we do our thing. Yep, we're live on YouTube. YouTube feed's working well. Marvellous. How is everybody? How are you, Lee?
I'm really good, mate. Really good.
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Work, no play. But apart from that, I'm good.
I know. When was the last one we did of these?
I'm not sure, mate, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure. A long time ago. But it's a good 6 months. Possibly more.
Is it that long? Is it that long?
I think so. Seems to be a long time ago.
Right.
I'm going to keep my eyes on the on the YouTube chat. If you can keep it on the YouTube, I'm going to keep my eyes on the YouTube chat.
Yes.
If you can keep it on Facebook.
2003, Michael says that was the last one we did.
Feels like it.
It does actually. I don't think we've done one since Rose was born.
Which is how long?
End of March.
So about 9 months. 4 months, so it says.
4 months, so I'm saying.
Seems longer than that. Oh, that might be as old as Rose is. About 6 months, I reckon, that we last did one.
I don't think we. Well, Rose is 6 months, so I don't think we've done one since. No, I think it's 6 months.
Get a couple of minutes. Let's get some people on.
Yes, well, I'm just posting the links now. Just posting the
nice
links.
Nice to see you, Michael. Anyway, how's Michael today? Anyone else here yet? Well, I'll tell you what, I've got loads. We're not going to be short of things to talk about in the industry and outside.
I don't. I've earmarked 2 hours for this. I don't know how. Callum's here. Good evening, Callum. How are you, buddy?
Hello. Good evening, young man.
I'm not quite sure how we're going to fit it all in the space of 2 hours, but we'll try. We will try. For anyone who's watching, can we just confirm the stream's good, the sound's good? If you don't mind. It's that long I forgot how to cast the TV, says Michael. Well, I don't really cast anything to the TV.
Big screen. How big's your telly, Michael? I bet Michael's into his tech. I bet he's got a big
76-inch curve off the wall.
Yeah, at least. That's my guesstimate.
Indeed.
I think Michael likes his tech, doesn't
he? He does. I'm just trying to find
Callum, anyway. You all right, Callum?
I'm just trying to find our stream on Facebook. There we go.
We're going to see you, Callum, in a few weeks. You better be coming up, pal.
Fiona is on Facebook. Good evening, Fiona. How the devil are you?
Hello, Fiona. Hope you're well.
Very good. Right, so the feed.
14 in.
There we go. Right. Fiona says she's knackered. Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all? So there we go.
We should have copied some usernames in, but we've not done it, have we, today?
I've done it on Twitter. So there we go. My Facebook stream is the audio's fine, the video's not. Not quite sure why, but there we go. We'll persevere as always. So, Callum, very well, thank you. Just put the kids to sleep, sorting dinner before the other half gets in from work. Callum,
what a loving, caring husband or partner you are, Callum. Very, very 21st century.
What's Callum after? What is Callum after? So there we go. Callum did a talk at a school on behalf of representing the industry, I believe, this week. Callum, didn't you? How did that go? I hope it went very well.
Part of the building our skills things.
I think. I don't know if it was himself or for building our skills, but I think I don't know. Callum, in the comments, tell us who you did it for, pal. I mean, either way, good effort. I dress myself too. It's amazing. Callum can do it all. He can dress himself. He can cook. Marvellous. But yeah, Callum, did you do the talk for building our skills? And how did it go anyway? I hope you inspired the next generation of fitters and sales and fabricators. And
I hope so, because we definitely need them.
Why? Are we short of people? I ain't noticed.
Just a little bit, according to everyone I'm talking to. It's even worse.
Same. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Yes, I don't know whether I'm not going to say it yet because it's too early and there's not enough people here. To wait for a few more people to come on before I start asking what people are doing.
Shall we share?
We've got loads to talk about today. Industry. We've got hold on, Callum says, got feedback today and the kids enjoyed it. Was part of Inspiring the Future for primary age. But got 3 talks in at the same school near me in Bristol next month. Cool.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well done, Callum.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. Oh, I love that.
Tell you what, Callum, we'll get Ellen in touch about doing a little editorial on that if you don't mind.
That's a good bit of good news story, isn't it? I like that. I like that a lot. Very good.
Let you get them done first. But
yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ooh, we could film one.
You what, sorry?
We could film one if Callum was comfortable with that.
We've got what's been going on in industry then over the last 6 months while we best make a list of stuff we're going to talk about.
How long have you got?
Apart from everything.
How long have you got?
So,
there's the small matter of trickle vents.
Trickle vents, the work slow down.
Yes, everyone's getting a bit twitchy, panicky poos now, aren't we? There's all sorts, mate. It's. I don't even know where to start with everything. It's too much. There's too much to do. I think
season, NFAs and G awards and stuff like that.
If you want to say mental health, yes. The big We Mind Kelly Matters charity ride across the US has finished this week.
Absolutely
insane effort.
Proper mention to that later.
There's so much to do. I mean, and Lee, Hagrid's died.
What's Hagrid?
The actor who plays Hagrid has died about an hour before we came on air.
Yeah, but what's Hagrid?
Harry Potter.
I've never watched Harry Potter.
Oh no! What's his? Bloody hell! Scottish actor.
Yeah. I was going to say I don't know who Hagrid is, but Robbie Coltrane died.
Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah, I don't know him as Hagrid, but I know Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah, so about half.
Or he's a comedian in my younger age.
He's been a comedian. He's been an actor in all sorts, but people of my age and a bit above and below, they'll all know him as Hagrid. So he passed away sadly about an hour.
So was he a wizard then in that?
Say that again.
I said, was he a wizard?
No, I don't think he did magic, but it was the big, massive guy with long hair and.
You're trying to describe someone I've never watched in a film I've never watched.
You'll know.
I'm not going to know him, am I still?
Yeah.
What his character looks like.
You call me uncultured. Bloody hell. Yeah, so that's really sad. So Soph's a massive Harry Potter fan, and she was properly upset by it. And he was properly lovable. The character.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter, come on, you've got to know him for what he was really, truly an hero in. Cracker.
Okay. I don't know. Michael's put Ronnie Coltrane. Is that the tribute act, Michael?
Ronnie Pickering. Ronnie Pickering.
Ronnie Pickering.
Oh, yeah.
God.
You don't know who I am. Ronnie Pickering. That's coming on again like
internet. Oh my God. The most stupid argument between a cyclist and some has-been boxer.
Listen, right. I'll tell you what you will be happy about, everyone. You're gonna really enjoy this because I've been away so long. Got to build up a jokes.
Oh God, we need him. We need him today. Callum says he was in Bond. Was he in a Bond film? Which Bond film was he in?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
he was indeed one of the villains.
Do you know who'd know that? Who don't watch these streams anymore? Jeff. He'd know.
Yeah.
Where's Jeff?
Jeff deserted us.
I know. Had a better offer. Some wine and some TV.
Yeah. Jeff deserted us, and his arch nemesis, Craig.
Glasgow Mac. Yeah.
Glasgow Mike, he deserted us as well.
Back in the day. Back when my phone used to burn up
on... Glasgow Mike soon. We're trying to make an appointment with him. Glasgow Mike.
His and Jeff's trivia on anything and everything was mental. You couldn't beat him in anything. Anyway,
two ex-podcast legends right there.
I know. Tomorrow Never Dies, says Callum. That was the film. So, I suppose before we get into industry stuff, we have to address the absolute comedy. The comedy.
Oh, we're going straight into politics.
We can't. No, it's too funny, isn't it? It's too funny. Kwasi Kwarteng, the second shortest serving chancellor, was sacked, only to be beaten by a guy who had a heart attack, which can't really be blamed on the guy. So, Kwasi Kwarteng becomes the shortest serving lived chancellor, I believe, in history, 38 days, and then Liz Truss is trundled on about 3 hours later to give a performance a wooden broomstick would be proud of. It lasted a whole 8 minutes and 21 seconds. She took 4 questions, and I don't think, if you watched it, I don't even think she knew the names of the journalists that were in the room. And the end result is the MPs and most of her cabinet actually hate her even more than this morning. So she's actually managed to make a dire situation for herself even more dire. And at this point, is making Boris Johnson look the consummate professional, which I didn't think would be possible. But there you go.
Well, you're talking about that very briefly. I'm just going to... Are
you sharing some links?
Share it on mine as well.
That's fine. Yes, so we're now left with Liz Truss, who has appointed Jeremy Hunt, the well-loved, well-liked, well-respected Jeremy Hunt, to the second most powerful position in the entire country, who ironically has more power than Liz Truss at the minute. That's how weak her particular position is right now. Jeremy Hunt comes in, and this is how bad things are. She is that bad. He is seen as a stable, safe candidate for the position. So he's going to wield more power than her. She's probably got a lifespan of about 3 days left. And Lee, apparently, as we came on air, I saw a tweet from a couple of journalists who have said that a ton of Tory MPs have submitted letters of no confidence, and that when Sir Graham Brady returns from his holiday on Monday, he may have enough, more than the threshold needed that Boris passed. But not to get too complicated, it would require a change in the rules. So the Tories have a rule where a new leader can't be subject to a confidence vote a year after being in power, until a year after being in power. So it would require a rule change, which at this present moment I'm pretty sure they could manage if they really disliked her that much. So,
well,
odds are, Lee, 10-1 on Boris Johnson coming back. I'll let you have your say. Now I've explained the situation we're in. I'll let you have your two penneth for what it's worth.
I'm trying not to get too wound up because that's why I've gone onto Twitter to start tweeting and get people on. Because if I told you everything I thought, I'd be ranting for the next 4 days in a row. Listen. I don't vote blue. Not going to get into politics and what my personal thoughts are too deep. I'm from a working class background, mining villages, so we're deep Labour voters, my family. Although I am open and I have voted for Conservatives before.
Oh, don't be saying that. There'll be pitchforks at your door.
But that said, I had a conversation with you and your dad in your work car park just before
Boris got elected.
No, just before the election.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Jeremy Corbyn.
So I just said.
And you were sat laughing at me going, they'll change it, it's going to be great under this. And this is what we've got. This is the run of morons that we've had to incur.
The thing is...
But Corbyn would have made a right mess. So what can we do? Not like what we've got now. Anyway, but that said, all joking aside, it is an absolute farce. And to do a U-turn like she has today.
This isn't just a U-turn. She's not even turned around on the road. She's rerouted the road backwards.
To go from cutting it to moving it up to 25%. I'm just absolutely gobsmacked, I've got to be honest.
Yes, all you business owners are going to be paying 6%
I'm
more
looking
on your
forward
tax.
to working hard and having even more money took off me. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's my favourite. That's what I like working for. I don't want my kids to have vote in future. I'd rather get government anyway. I like how they waste money. It's quite cool.
Working for nothing. It's a good pastime, isn't it?
Working for nothing. It's great. Make a good song, that.
Oh man, I mean, when's the next podcast? I'm gonna wager that Liz Truss is out of power by the time we do our next podcast in 2 weeks' time. That is my bet upon the matter. On a serious note, I mean, the damage that they've done over the last few weeks is just insane. Everyone's going to be paying hundreds of pounds a month more on their mortgages now. Confidence in the UK, what was left of it, is now gone. A recession is pretty much baked in. You could kiss goodbye to any significant growth until the next election. Yeah, good times. Great for business.
I'm listening and speaking, by the way. I'm just sharing the...
No, that's fine. I know what you're doing. It's fine.
Let's send it to everybody. So it might take 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. I was talking with Joe Martosha on Twitter earlier, and I was saying to him, if Liz Truss calls you up and goes, do you want to be my Chancellor? Would you really want to be working for her at the minute? I mean, she's more of a joke figure than Boris Johnson is. I mean, anyone who works for her now is going to be completely tainted. I mean, that's the end of his career. Unless he thinks from the place of Chancellor he can become Prime Minister at some point. Because he must know she's not going to last. He must know she's an absolute joke figure now. Why on earth would you work for her unless you thought you could progress your career? Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. But Jeremy Hunt rhymes with Blunt. He's now our Chancellor.
So, well, good thing for him is he can't be any more hated than what he already is across the country. across UK. So he's quite clearly not bothered. Are we upset?
I don't think any of them are bothered. But you don't like Keir Starmer. I don't mind him.
Look, you don't. He's another red Tory. Don't mind him.
I don't mind him. What about Lib Dems? Would you ever vote yellow?
I'd rather cut my knackers off.
Then vote for Lib Dems. Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with Lib Dems? Ed Davey. Sir Ed Davey.
Nick Clegg had a chance to do what nobody else would have been able to do, and he sold his soul for a minute of fame to sit next to the Conservative Party, and he tore up every promise he ever made. Sheffield politician, and he's exactly now where he deserves, not even in the Parliament.
He's doing pretty well for himself, though. He's got a very senior position at Facebook.
He's a treacherous, dirty turncoat, and they deserve to be where they are because of him.
If you remember,
that's what I think of Lib Dems. I will give me full backing on that.
If you remember, Sir Ed Davey, it wasn't Sir Ed Davey at the time, it was Ed Davey. He was responsible for the first version of the Green Deal, if you remember. That was his pet project. And that went well. Scrapped after 18 months. Nobody took it up. So I'm not... Who do we have now? On an honest front, I mean, look, forget Corbyn, he's a backbencher now, and he's never going to be a leader again. So set him aside. Who have we got?
Angela Rayner.
Of the enemy? Yeah, I don't mind her actually.
Angela Rayner in Labour, and anyone who could turn up honest in Conservative Party. Someone on it. I know they struggle a little bit, but someone who can keep promises.
Do you know my thoughts on that though? When was the last time you heard a Labour leader with a northern accent? I've never heard one. Keir Starmer, Southern. Jeremy Corbyn, Southern. Tony Blair, Southern. And who was the guy before Tony Blair? Neil Kinnock. Angela Rayner.
Well, Neil Kinnock won't have a northern accent. He's from Wales.
Well, no. My point is, when should they be now installing Labour? Do they need a proper northern leader? Because that's where they were born. Remember, they were born up here. But
I'm going to be honest. I don't think that matters a difference. I think as long as it's someone I said both. I think, like I said, honestly, all my feelings against Nick Clegg aside, he destroyed Lib Dems. They'll never have a chance at anything ever again.
No, they'll bump along the bottom for the rest of the time.
But anybody from either party who can come and just do an half decent job and not lie. That's it.
Callum Williams says anyone but Jess Phillips.
I'm not even setting bar like above my toes here.
Ooh, Fiona on Facebook. Andy Burnham. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. Andy Burnham. He's done a cracking job representing Manchester.
I could possibly go for that.
I think. Do you know I could vote for that? I could vote for Andy Burnham. He's rejected it though. There's been some pressure on him to stand as an MP so he can become leader, but he's rejected.
I've got to say,
he's got a couple
I'm not setting bar high and saying we just want someone who does an half decent job who can tell.
No, that's not a big request, is it?
The bar's right down at your toes here. It's not like you're struggling to trip over that. We're not asking for much.
Someone who just doesn't lie, who knows what they're doing in their job. They understand, what the NHS is, what a prime minister does, how the financial markets work. That's it, innit? That's all we need. Someone who just understands the job they're in. I was watching Liz Truss at that stupid press conference earlier, and she didn't have a clue. I swear to God, she did not know the names of the journalists. She took about 15 seconds to decide who she was talking to. And I'm sure she only picked the journalists she could remember. She only took 4 questions, then buggered off. Dwayne Rogers
She were
from
getting,
Vitrine.
she
Good
were
evening,
getting levered.
Dwayne.
She were getting levered though. To be fair,
She had
um,
she had 4 questions. They were pretty much the same 4 questions. She gave some dithering, stupid.
she were off like an Olympic sprinter. Okay, we're inviting some celebrities. I've invited Elon Musk gets an invite every time because he's just dying to come and talk about crypto and electric cars with us and uh, furry hamsters.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever your pets are.
I'd like to see what Elon Musk could do with his money and genius in our industry. Can you imagine the window products he'd invent?
And I've also invited evening Dwayne. I've also invited Sarah Silverman for a bit of comedy because she'll like my jokes,
Okay.
and Michelle Keegan.
Right, fine. Well, I
Because
fully anticipate them joining all of them shortly.
I can't wait to have them the comments on YouTube or Facebook.
On that point though, can you imagine what Elon Musk could do in this industry with his ideas and money?
It would be very interesting, yes.
He'd upend the entire thing. It'd be brilliant. It'd be fantastic. Completely turn the industry from top to bottom, upside down. Wonderful. Yeah, so we anticipate Elon Musk joining us shortly. Right, that's enough politics. It's nearly 8 o'clock. That's enough politics. I tell you what I'd like to talk about, Lee, before we get onto trickle events, because I've got to be honest, although it's a massive issue, I don't really want to talk about it. I assume people watching who follow me on social media saw the insane pivot door we fitted on Monday. Did you see that, Lee?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Really
Nick
nice.
Caddy, Adverto Media. Good evening, Nick.
Hey up, Nick.
Hope you're well. Yes, so on Monday, I helped fit the very first pivot door we sold from Spitfire. And hand on heart, without exaggeration, it is the best door we have ever fitted. It's about the most spectacular way you can leave and enter a home. Heffin Richards from Spitfire kindly assisted us with the first fit, which went pretty well. To be fair, it fit perfectly. The lads did a great job. Surveyor surveyed it well. And the customer's like a child at Christmas with the door. It's just so cool. No hinges, just a pivot. Swing it in. 1750 wide. Ian Short from Florida.
Where's he here?
Oh, good afternoon. Florida, 5 hours. It'd be 3 o'clock there. Good afternoon, Ian. It did look fabulous.
Ian?
Thank you.
Ian, I hope you're watching Mickey Mouse on a dual channel outside of us.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah, he's at Disney, isn't he? He's Ian Shaw at the minute. I hope you're having a good holiday, Ian. So yeah, so we fit this pivot door. It was 1.75 meters wide, just under 2.1 meters high, and the entire thing opened. It's got LEDs built into the pivot side, fingerprint recognition, backlit recessed handle in the door slab. So no protruding handles. It's just bloody cool. It's the best door I've ever seen. 0.9 U value. I think it weighs between 150 and 200 kilograms, a 4-person lift. They're very, very heavy doors. But their tag of being one of the best doors in Europe is absolutely justified. I loved it.
I've got to say, I've noticed it because I know you've been talking to me about it for ages, about you taking them on. And, mate, it looks absolutely amazing. And it seems to be, although it's a very niche product, people are starting to buy these kind of things. And, you know, we've just took on, we've got a company called Glasswin that are only based around London and surrounding areas that have just started promoting theirs in our digital magazines for their area. And they're
based in London, aren't they?
Yeah, just London and the surrounding areas. I think about 17 miles around. But they're doing the big aluminium front doors, Shilco and Rayners, I think. So,
Okay.
but honestly, mate, I was looking at them.
And they do pivot doors as well.
Well, have a look at magazine when you get a minute. It's in there, and they do some absolutely cracking stuff, but it's all iron stuff like the doors that you're fitting. So it's
don't get me wrong.
The bigger, more expensive doors now. I know the niche, but there's a lot of people looking at them.
Well, they have the ability. I mean, look, there's not many products we do that on social media that can go viral, but the videos and the images I've posted across. I did a video on TikTok. It's got nearly 8,000 plays. I've got over 750 views, I think, on Twitter of this 7-second clip I put online of just the door closing. And the amount of engagement I've had on a series of tweets I posted on it on Monday has been ridiculous. But the thing is, it's not like any door you've ever seen. For most people, even in the industry, they still don't know what a pivot door is because only a handful are sold and fitted in the country every week, a really small amount. I think Spitfire said they only do 4 to 6 a month. I mean, hopefully those numbers will grow. Kev Ahern's here. Hello, Kev.
Hello, Kev.
Fiona Lundell.
He'll have been watching his gardening weekly before he's come on.
So, oh yes, it's just turned 8 o'clock. So, what kind of fitted retail price are we talking about? So we sold that, Fiona, to the end user for £16,000. In London, I was told that a door like that would go for between maybe 20 to 25, but obviously regionality plays a factor there. So 16,000. We don't anticipate it being a mass seller. What we are trying to do is become known to architects and self-builders in our area who are building high-end homes. Because let's face it, if you're going to build £1 million house, you're going to want a door. You're going to want a door that, fits a house of that caliber. Kevin Ahern saying most commercial alley doors are pivot. Yeah, commercial, but in the residential space, the idea of a pivot door is still, really young, really young. But what I'm hoping is the engagement I've had on social media channels. I've posted pictures of products in the past. They get okay engagement, but not like this. Every tweet, every video, tweets, videos, TikToks, they've all got massive engagement because people are genuinely interested because it's a really funky product. For the door, that sounds reasonable. Fiona's saying, just looked them up. They are awesome, Fiona. If you ever get a chance to go look at a fitted pivot, I mean, we're actually at B&P where we're at now. We're building a dedicated Spitfire showroom. There's a big pivot going in that showroom, bigger than the one we fitted on Monday. If you're ever in our area, Fiona, you're more than welcome to come in and have a look because they're just the coolest bloody doors you'll ever see. Adverto Media said, really interested to see where Spitfire are in 12 months' time. Heard so many good things about them. They do an insane product, even there. So they have 3 ranges. Entry level's S200, mid range is S500, pivot is their, every bell and whistle going. It's the coolest thing. And even their S200 is just an outrageously good door. They'll retail between 4,000 and 5,000 depending on the model, but the quality, they'll never bend, they'll never warp, they'll not discolour, and they operate dead smoothly. There is very few manufacturers out there doing a product like that. And as you can tell, I am excited to sell it because remember, my day job is selling. And if you can get excited about what you sell, it makes your job a hell of a lot easier. And if it was up to me, I'd sell a pivot a week. I'd be more than happy with that. Fiona, we can as an industry surely promote pivots as we did composites in the early days. At 16 to 25,000, depending on the door, it's obviously not going to be a mass market product. However, Spitfire, I think I'm allowed to say this, they are doing a mini pivot now. So that's based on their S200 product, where the price point is a lot more accessible. That is probably going to be the mass market product. Ian Short, this is what the industry needs: high-end, high-quality product. Yeah. And these next 2 years, when we're stuck in a recession, these are the people that are going to buy. Your wealthier bracket is going to be the ones that continue to buy. And here's a stat, Lee, that is important. The top 20% of people, so richest, the top 20% wealthy people, fund 80% of all home improvement work. Now, this is why it's so important. You have to aim for that wealthy bracket, because 4/5 of all home improvement work is spent and funded by the richest 20%.
I think we've already, and we'll touch on this during this conversation, it's actually, we're going to bring it up later, but it kind of ties in. And I know that we've had this conversation, Jason, because you're getting the emails and the flyers, and everyone I'm speaking to is getting the same. There's already a race to the bottom.
It's like we...
Just as everyone gets conditioned to buying products at the right price, consumer-wise, and then everyone's already starting again, like... I
don't understand how they can do it, because, look, businesses have got costs going through the roof: energy, wages, material costs. And then I'm getting marketing emails in my inbox saying Ali bifolds glazed at £350 a leaf. How can they be doing that? I don't even trust those emails anyway, because there's always some caveat to them. But if they are, they're not going to survive at £350 a bloody leaf. It's absolutely insane. Ian Short on Facebook, 100%. This is what goes through tough times. I will repeat this over and over again on DGB for as long as people need to hear it. The top richest 20% drive 80% of all home improvement work. Now, that means there is quite a large market to go at. Plenty of people can aim for that higher end, because there's clearly a lot to go at. Ian Short, quality. Yeah, it has to be. Because let's face it, as the low to middle incomers stop spending, which I will be honest, they have at ours. Luckily we pivoted at the beginning of the year to attract wealthier people, and it's paid off. But your low to middle income types, your families, your people with mortgages, they ain't buying shit at the minute. They have slammed the brakes on hard. However, your wealthier bracket, your top 20%, they're comfortable. They're not necessarily so worried. They want to build an extension. They want to build a house. They want to move house. They will continue to spend. And if you are not aiming your quality products at them, I'm afraid, I'm going to miss out big time in the next 12 to 18 months. Fiona, another stat. Sad but true. My next door neighbour is a ground worker who builds swimming pools. He is booked out until 2025 and is turning business away. Why does our sector always race to the bottom? And then Ian Short again. Quality and service rule over price every time. Absolutely no arguments with that, Ian. Me and Ian talk every time we talk. This subject comes up, and we always agree. 2025. This guy who builds pools has got work for 3 years, Lee.
Well, it's no good. Then now we're going to ask him to come and build mine.
Yeah, mine too.
one day.
Mine too. But that's a good point. Fiona raises and illustrates what I've just said. Look, only rich people are buying pools. Only rich people are building pools, let's face it. And trades associated with that clientele are going to be busy.
Wouldn't like the electricity bills, though.
Oh, I can't divulge personal details, but the guy we fit the pivot door to, he's got a pool. It's a very big pool, and I went in. So he took us round. He's got a couple of hot tubs as well. I went in. It was belting warm. And I said to him, what does it cost to run this? He goes, well, we've had a heat pump installed, so it's partly heat pump, partly gas boiler. And he couldn't tell me what the running cost was. But then again, if you're that rich, I mean, you won't even. It's irrelevant. Isn't it?
I've had an hot tub for years, on and off. And mine costs about what the people selling it you tell you and what's true is absolutely a million miles apart. I've had it insulated. I've had everything done I could, and it was still costing me before the price increases 80 to 90 quid a month.
Just for the hot tub?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was before any price increases.
So that's £1,000 for the year.
Yeah. And that were insulated, and it weren't a cheap end hot tub either.
No, I've seen, mate. Yours is.
It's not top, but it's middle.
It's not far off.
Top.
We've had some comments.
I've had everything done. I paid for everything I can to keep it as insulated as I've had the special boards put on, insulated inside as much as you can because of fire. But it's still you can't. I can't get it below that.
That's mad. We've had some comments on Facebook. Michael, been banging the quality drum for the past 10 years. If you've seen Michael's products, they're very, very high quality. Callum, being a busy fool pays no bills. That is very true, especially at the minute. Dwayne's asking how they can sell it for that much. Dwayne, next time I get a stupid marketing email like that, I will send it to you just so you can have a laugh. No hinges, no handle, Milford. Yeah, probably. It's probably the worst product ever. Missing all sorts of stuff. But the point is, and the point Lee was saying is, we're doing it again. We're doing it again over and over. We go around the same circle.
Rather than changing mindset, because let's be honest, there is going to be a struggle to sell cheaper end products because the market isn't as.
It's not going
to be as strong.
No.
But change your mindset and bring in a mix of products so you can do a bit of both.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want it, you can't just rip up and not fit cheap products. There's a need for that. But do a bit of both, diversify a little bit. Look, we've got two people on here, probably three. We've got an aluminium fabricator sat here today.
Yeah, that's Dwayne.
We've got a blinds manufacturer,
Ian,
and we've got Michael, who does a range of products, all diversifying but quality products.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a bit of everything, and it's all of them are doing well. All of them are doing well because there's two certain things there: quality and the service on it.
Well,
they're good people.
Lee knows this. I mean, we could see the change happening at the end of last year. There was definitely the change definitely happened last year. And me and Dad had a chat at Christmas. I said to him, look, we've always been known for higher end, a bit more expensive than other people. But there's a big drop off coming. There's a lot of problems coming, and we have to diversify. We have to get into the really high end stuff, and that's what we did. So we'd sort of dabbled around with aluminium, but not really done it properly. Now this year we've sold more aluminium than ever before. We've started to sell Spitfires, insane doors, on a regular basis now, which is nice. Flush windows are coming out of everywhere at the minute. I would say at least a third of our jobs this year have all been flush. All of them. And we've not looked back since. Sale volume is down, don't get me wrong. We've not had the same number of people go ahead with us, but the average contract value has gone through the roof. The value of each contract we've signed up has just gone insane. It's meant we've been able to get an extra crew fitting wise, and we're fitting products that our fitters are getting excited about. It's an exciting thing fitting a pivot door. It's an exciting thing fitting a 6-section bifold. It's an exciting thing fitting blinds with double tracks and into an aluminium bifold. It's cool. It's sexy work as far as windows and doors go. and the customer can get excited about it, and I can get excited about it, and the fitters get excited about it, and then you sell more. And then you sell more because of it, because you can G yourself up and you can get the customer excited. And this, to my wider point, Lee, explains why our industry should be far more influential than we are. Because what we do, in large parts, is really cool work.
Well, I'll come back to a lot of things that I've been saying for the last 2 years on this podcast. But before I do that, there's enough people here now. And I haven't said it in ages.
Come on.
What's everyone drinking tonight?
Yay.
I'm actually having a beer for the first time in a long time. I'm having a couple of only a couple.
I know,
couple of Desperados.
I'm on some Hazy Jane from the old Brew Dog.
But I've got a glass of water at the side of me because I'm a little bit thirsty tonight.
Yeah, I'm working tomorrow. I can't go nuts. Kevin Ahern on YouTube had solar panels and a battery fitted in May, and he's taken just 6 kilowatts from the grid at a cost of £1.30. So Kev's pretty much almost off grid. That's cool.
Before it's not hooked up to lamppost, Kev.
Some suspicious long black cable up to a lamppost. Ian on Facebook, volume doesn't equal profit. Ian, if everybody realised that, I think there'd be a lot less problems in our sector. And here's the other thing I've noticed, Lee, by the way. Industry's been reporting results, you Safe Styles, your Epwins and others. Revenues are up, but it's all inflation driven. Volume's down, but revenues are up, and people are like, oh, right, revenues up, revenues. Yeah, but your sales are down. The only reason why your revenue's up is because inflation's pushed it up like 40%. So it's skewing your figures. Callum's on Williams Brewery beer. That's a good brewery. Callum, Williams. Do like it. Fiona. Ali Flush, pivot, you're ahead of the game. It's not, thing is, it's not a secret, Fiona. It's not like the products are out there. Aluminium's well known. Flush is well known. I just don't understand why more installers don't understand the opportunities.
Sorry, before I mention about the drinks and stuff, it comes, and I know I hark on about it a lot, but it comes back to when I had the locksmith come into my house years ago to change a lock, and you don't know what, obviously, because I were in industry, I knew what choices there were, but he came in and just offered me the basic options, and it's like, I don't think it's getting more, people are more aware now if they're looking and if they're serious, but I'm still adamant that there's a massive percentage of people who don't realise the wide range of products out there and the add-ons that they can have. And I'm not just talking about, look, you can have blinds in your bifolds and your windows, but I'm talking about hardware, like different hardware choices that, like, no one's ever offered that. Like, you get your general salespeople that are going around, and most of them are just offering what they sell. It's like the easiest path of resistance. And I don't know how we solve that. I really do not. And I keep saying it, I do not know how we solve it.
That's
a sales skill, and the problem is, and it's not always the fault of the window companies, because they're not salespeople, they're tradespeople, most of them.
Yeah.
So they don't know the sales and the marketing side as well as they could do. And it's, but while ever the consumers don't, I mean, obviously the internet now and the way it's going, it's a lot easier to see that there's different things. But again, people are stumbling on it. They should. It's like, if you go, if you know about kitchens, you know what the best kitchens are. If you know the best, you know what the best bathrooms are. Do you know anyone outside the glazing industry who knows what the best windows and doors are? Because everyone who I speak to doesn't even know the companies that are in our industry.
Only the ones that have really done the research. I went to a guy a couple of weeks ago in York, and he'd clearly spent some time, because he knew. I mean, we use Origin for our bifolds and patios and windows, and he was quoting me the ranges. He was quoting me, Evolution products. But he was one of a kind. I don't often get that. Most people I go to, they don't know what's available. And then they rely on me to, explain, ask the right questions, find out what they want. And the thing is, again, in our area, so many installers, they just sort of bang out whatever's the easiest for them to sell. They don't ask questions out of the home. They don't ask them about the house. They don't ask them about what they want. They don't ask them the reason why they're changing, because all those questions, those answers determine what they buy in the end. If I go, if I turn up to a 1920s big semi-detached with full of character, I'm going to ask them, right, okay, do you want something, what are your thoughts? Have you had a look online? Do you want something that's sympathetic to the house? And they generally say, yeah, okay, so if they say yes to that, then I know what to show them. But most salesmen I'm aware of in our area, they just bang, it's just easier to sell whatever's easiest for them.
That's a mix of bad salespeople, but also tradespeople who are not salespeople who haven't got the experience. Not all of them are bad salespeople. They just don't know that side of the job as well as the experience.
See, that's what I take pride on, though. I like to know. I don't claim to know everything about what I sell, but I'd like to think I've got a very, very good product knowledge. And I like to think I'm very educated in what I sell, which arms me with the right questions and the right points to put to the customer.
I think people as well, and I will say this, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people who are in sales in trades, but they don't, and they say, well, because I've asked, like, and I've asked them what their kind of pitch is to clients, and they're like, well, we just tell them what we think that they need, and most of the time they'll agree. If they've got an idea, they'll tell us anyway. But they tend to say, we don't like encroaching on people. If they want something, they'll tell us. And I'm like, exact opposite. I said to them, I go, they don't know what they want until you show them all the options, which you're not. They don't know. They only go off what they know, and they don't know everything.
I'll give you a good example. Every time I go to see a customer about windows, I show them everything. And although I personally like flush windows more than standard casements, I don't push it on the client. I just say, look, these are all your options. And the amount of times that the homeowner's gone to me, do you know, I never knew they were available. I say, well, did the other company not tell you about them? Oh no, they just showed us this. And so they're not being shown. Then I'm the first person to come in, and they're being shown something different. And then
they're blown away because they've got choices.
And then, funnily enough, they actually like the flush window. So So more often than not, I probably stumble on sales simply because I've just been bothered to show someone something else extra. We've had some comments on Facebook from Fiona. Ian Shaw, education to the salespeople and the end user. Exactly. If your salespeople are educated, they will educate the end user properly. Fiona says, agree, Lee. Do you think that our industry is still tarnished with the double glazing estate agency stuff?
Certainly, yes, I do.
Probably. Which means broad brush we miss out. Why are we scared as a sector? Oh, Fiona, why are we scared as a sector to try out new? I ain't got enough time in the world. I haven't not got enough time in the world to explain that one.
Don't get me started on that.
It's only taken NFAs 10 years to get to where they are.
Talking about the NFAs, I don't mind the shameless little pitch here. 29,000 just over votes this year.
Jesus. Is that how many?
Yeah, is it? Wow. I don't know what we got last year. Was it just over 20 last year?
22-ish, I think, something like that. From
nearly a third on top.
That's mad.
Some cracking marketing from companies to try and get votes.
Do you know?
And I tell you what, I don't want to give anything away because I've only seen it up until Wednesday before the close off. But there was some people don't believe us because it's 29,000 votes. They don't believe how close it is in some of the categories. They're like, yeah, of course it is.
Well, yeah, it's going to be
29,000 votes and it's close.
The thing is, I think the more votes you have, and this has been weird for me this year because as you'll all know, I stepped away at the beginning of the year and Lee took over. So this is kind of my first year as an outsider looking in. I've not been involved really in any of it. But the more votes you get, the closer a lot of these categories are. Because, as you've seen on social media for the last few months, companies put a massive effort into these voting campaigns. And it goes from back to forth. You'll have a leader one week and then a leader the week after, and then it levels out a bit. And then you have a big rush right at the end where 1 or 2 votes either way can swing it. But
I've worked it out last week. When people don't believe us when we say it's close, like there's 1 or 2 votes in it, people think there's thousands, like tens of thousands just in one category. There is a couple, there's some categories that get a lot more votes than others. Some are obviously smaller parts of the industry.
yeah.
But on average, we've now got, how many categories have we got? 42?
No, 30 odd, I think. 32, 35, something.
No, it's more than that. Might be 30, might be 32. But anyway, it's a lot. But what I've worked out, it's about 850 at this minute in time. 850 to 900 votes per category on average.
Which is still a lot. Which is still a lot.
But what I'm saying is, think about how tight that can get if you've got, like, even if you've got 2,000 in one category, and there's 10 people in it.
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot to be close. It does not take a lot to be close. But I've got to say, as an outsider, I mean, I am properly proud of the entire team, and they've achieved something this year that I could never have done. And, you know, being involved in so many things, you know, you don't have enough time. So, and then Rose came along and, you know, I had to make a decision. And I knew when I handed it over to Lee and Sarah. And,
well, I'm not gonna take credit for it because it's
you're still part of the team. You're still part of the team, but Lee,
the team I've got working for me, Sarah, Nicola, and Anna, Diane, Helen. They're the ones behind it. I just tell them what to do, and they go and do a better job than I can tell them. So
well, what they've achieved, if you look at the consistency,
they're good at what they
do. They're incredible at what they do. They're bloody hard working. But if you look at the consistency, I mean, the one thing I've always touted about the NFAs is it's all year round. We don't just pop up at the end of the year, ask for some cash, churn out some bits and pieces, and then disappear again for 10 months of the year. NFAs is all year long, all year promotion, consistency in marketing. It's a constant presence throughout the year. And what they've achieved, what Lee, and although he won't take any credit for it, but what Lee and the entire team have achieved has been remarkable this year. And certainly I couldn't have done that on my own, or, you know, in the limited capacity I had. But they've took it to another level this year. I'm so proud of them all.
Well, I've got to say, the main reason I brought it up today is because we've got a lot of people here who've been coming and watching us do this for over the last 2 years.
God, yeah.
And I know some are already coming, but we've got the winners event, it's not the winners event anymore. We've got the event to announce the winners on the 5th of November at Doncaster Races. Now, there's a lot of people on this podcast that come that are not involved as companies in the shortlist, but I would love to see you there. So if you want to grab a ticket, you don't have to be a finalist, and it'd be great
just come and have a good time. Yeah, just come and have a good time.
Listen, it'd be lovely to see it. Fiona, Kev, who else have we got?
Sarah's already asked Callum, but Callum can't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Michael, Dwayne, Nick Caddy.
Nick's coming anyway. Nick's
fantastic.
Coming anyway.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Whoever's on, I mean, I've probably missed a load of people here, but just come, honestly, as a day goes, it's not just the awards, it's a racing day, champagne reception, kindly sponsored by Ian, bless him, what a guy, amongst
Ian's ace.
Many other things. But it's a cracking day, and what a social as well to get together. It's a day of racing. There's a bit of awards in between where there's going to be some whooping and cheering and
a bit of awards,
dancing on tables, and then there's going to be some, and then we've got a band. We've got a band on this year, Helter Skelter.
It's gonna be it's gonna
With
be
a
a hell of
four-course
a
meal.
it's gonna be a hell of a,
3-course meal and afternoon tea. There you go.
it's gonna be a hell of a way to start your end of year celebrations. And look,
So,
it's a really happy
there you
room.
go.
You've got a room full of winners generally, so it's no one's no one's
It would be delightful to see some of the people, if you can get, just as a catch-up.
yeah.
Try and make it,
Fantastic.
boys and girls.
But no, I am genuinely proud. Like I say, it's my first year where I've not really been involved. I'm a proper outsider now, but it's been so good to see what they've all done and what they've all achieved and what they've all created. And you've seen that in the engagement. I mean, you've had companies who have flirted with it in the past or not really been involved, but you've seen on social media, in email campaigns, in marketing campaigns. The NFA logo, the NFA finalist logo splattered everywhere. Dedicated campaigns asking for votes and so on. It's been fantastic to see. So I'm really proud of everyone and what they've done. So,
Well, on a separate note, I've moved next door to a superstar. Bet you didn't know that, did you? MC Hammer. Live next door to MC Hammer.
oh yeah,
The problem is, he's constantly into his DIY. And every time I shout stop, it gets worse and worse. They're going to get worse. They're going to get worse. I've been away a while.
I know.
I've been storing up.
I apologise in advance. He's got them all built up. Dwayne Rogers, it's a top day and night. To be fair, who's presenting? Definitely not me. We've got a proper presenter.
It is what's his
Lee Phelps.
Lee Phelps.
Yep. I felt
Top
sorry
guy.
for him last year because if you remember, we had to sort of hurry one together last year because we didn't know what was happening with COVID. So we did.
Well, he had to do 2 lots of awards
I
in
know,
the same.
I know, poor lad. He ended up with 60 odd awards to give out. Poor lad. And the crowd were pretty patient, to be fair. I mean, I don't think we could have gone on much longer. We were getting a bit itchy at that point. I'm like, oh my God, when's it going to finish? But he's only got about 30 odd, so it's only going to take him about 45 minutes, thank God, this time. But he was up there for well over an hour.
Yes, and it's not 45 minutes. It's about an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half.
No, it's not that long.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, we scripted it out, yeah.
This coming one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, right. Are you sure?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
All videoed, we've got photographers there.
I know.
Get all the snaps, all the party snaps, and all the happenings.
Lee Phelps.
I can't wait. To be fair, it's as a corporate day goes, it's fantastic. We get plenty of bar sponsors, so the bar's free for a set amount of time. And
if anyone wants to be a contributor to that free bar, you are more than welcome.
I tell you the good thing is though, there's actual business done there. It's great for networking. People are doing business. Like last year, it were like, there was some right work circulating between.
Did Ian pick up some customers? I think
so.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There were quite a few linked up, to be fair.
Yeah.
Kev's telling a joke. I've been trying to learn how to guess the weight of dogs. Not had much luck so far, but I did pick up a few pointers today.
Kev with the jokes. So, yeah,
Kev, you need to be at Doncaster Park.
Oh, absolutely.
We need a drink with you.
Oh, Kev will start a riot. He nearly started a riot on Twitter the other night. Spitfire posted a picture of a door, which may or may not have had a lintel above it. But Kev wasn't happy about it. I'm like, Spitfire not going to know. They just got the picture. But no, Kev, you need to come. It will be fantastic to have you. And you can bring some of your homebrew with you as well.
Kev, for anyone who doesn't know, Kev makes the best cider ever. Beautiful.
I hadn't tried his cider. Tried his homebrew beer. That were nice. That was nice.
Very nice, I've got to say.
Speaking of beer, Lee, sorry. Hazy Jane Peach. I'm on now. Peach, and I've got a passion fruit for after. Just get me fruit in. My health. Health.
What about sport?
Ooh, where should we go?
World
Cup coming up soon. In that well-known footballing nation of Qatar.
What do you think are England's chances?
Oh yeah, mate, we're going to absolutely storm it. Gareth Southgate is the most aggressive manager I've ever seen. We're going to beat everybody 9-0. It's going to be totally stress-free. Mate, we ain't got a prayer.
World Cup. Formula 1 has already been won.
Yeah, it's been a bit boring this year, Formula 1.
Driver.
And the England women's World Cup started. I'm sure the
women. Well, I don't know what.
In rugby.
It's. I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure women's World Cup in rugby.
I've got to be honest. The women's football in the Euros absolutely made us. Our men's team looked like mugs. We've been messing for years. They just came in and absolutely demolished it. And I'll tell you what, I've watched quite a bit of women's football over the years. There's a lot of my friends who I used to go to school with have got kids that play at amateur level with, like United and Wednesday and Rotherham and stuff like that. So I do tend to watch, not as much as I should, but some. But what an absolute performance that were in Euros. Absolutely immense. Every game.
They absolutely smashed it. Now, why can the men not play like the women?
Because
they've got the
we're
talent.
Not very good. But we think we are. That's the arrogance. The players think they're better than what they are. Look at Harry Maguire, captain, or he were. He honestly, right, the arrogance of him, he's still adamant that it's the press that are on his back and it's not him. You don't turn into a bad player overnight. Well, no, you were a bad player anyway. Just that you got signed for ridiculous amounts of money.
Sarah Rogers is saying a full night of women's boxing tomorrow.
Now that I am really looking forward to. I've been watching
full card of women's boxing on Sky Sports tomorrow night.
Yes, I love my boxing. Really looking forward to that.
England's women's sports, rugby, football, are far outperforming the men's teams.
Because they don't have. It's not the same egotistical, big-headedness. No. I think they're too good. It is a team sport.
The England women team genuinely play as a team. They're a complete unit. Kev is apparently being an arsonist on November the 5th. He says, I will, however, come up at some point. I will bring beer.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kev. It's not very often we say this, and it's going to sound like we're picking as favourites. But come up and have a drink with us at Christmas, mate.
Oh yeah.
Come up, you can.
Well, he's volunteered some beer, cider, and rhubarb and banana wine. That sounds interesting. Rhubarb and banana wine. But no, yeah, come have a Christmas drink, Kev. Ooh, that's a point. Might have to do it when I'm back off holiday. I go to the Caribbean on the 1st of December, so it'll have to be after then.
Like Judith Chalmers, you've had about 5 holidays this year already.
Alex, heck. The only holiday I've had
this year.
When?
You're either one or two things. You're either on holiday or you're on toilet. Every time I ring you. Either skiving in toilet or you're on holiday. Seriously.
The only
no one can get holidays. You've booked them all up. That's why prices are so high.
I went to Centre Parks in the UK in May for Soph's 30th birthday for a week. But that's a domestic holiday. I was reachable. And then I went to Cos in August for my brother's wedding.
You've been abroad 3 times this year.
I haven't been abroad 3 times. I've been abroad
once. You went in January.
No.
or it was December last year.
No.
It were close to. It was.
You're dreaming. Adam's wedding in Kos was the first time we've been on a plane since the pandemic. Yeah. And then I'm going away on the 1st of December for 2 weeks. It's my birthday while I'm there, and it's Soph's mum and dad's wedding anniversary, so we're making a bit of a bash there. So that's
well, I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous, but I hope you're sick on rum.
So I've been abroad twice this year. I think I bloody deserve it, to be fair. Kev, those doors do pay well. There's some commission on them Spitfire doors. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Fair play, mate. You do. You need it. All that running backwards and forwards to toilet on a day.
Dwayne, there's no point selling those doors for nothing. Let me put it that way. I still got a mortgage to pay.
And it's Halloween soon as well.
I know. Are we gonna do a Halloween special in 2 weeks' time? Should we get his faces painted?
Yeah.
I can get Soph to do a pumpkin.
Well, maybe.
Makeup. You can be a ghost.
There's only one thing I don't like about Halloween, which is
yeah.
The cup, that one.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. Go on, Kev.
I'm here all day. Don't worry. I'm here all day.
Oh man. So our local.
Yeah, Halloween. I like Halloween. Kev. Oh my God. We'll have anyone who don't remember Kev. Oh my God. Kev is an absolute legend on Halloween. You ought to see what he. Can you remember, Jason?
Yes.
Kev, you're gonna have to somehow. I don't know where we share it. You need to share what you do because it is.
Kev, if Kev sends me a picture on Twitter that I don't mind me showing, if he sends me a picture on Twitter, I'll tweet it and show Kev and show the world what Kev does at Halloween.
I've never seen anyone put as much effort into Halloween as him.
No wonder he can't come to Donny. He's going to spend 2 weeks taking it down. It's insane. Yeah,
brilliant.
Was that the time he came on as a guest and he played some guitar for us as an outro?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Man of many talents.
I know. Fiona, thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you.
What's your theme? What's your theme this year, Kev? Is it gonna be it? Will it be something old school? Will it be?
It'd be a dummy of Liz Truss sat in the corner. Scary enough.
It'll be interesting to see what theme is going to come up with this year.
I know, it's proper detailed as well. It's properly detailed. Yeah, so England's women, both in rugby and football, I think will do us quite proud. But then we've got the men. So we've got this weird situation where football, is it a 5-week break domestic football's off for?
Well, that'll just be for good teams, won't it? Not like teams like ours, Wednesday and Bradford. We still have to keep playing, I think, as far as I'm aware.
Do we?
I think so. Well, I think you've got as many international players as us. One. So I doubt we'll be stopping.
No. And Qatar, Lee, that really well-known footballing nation of Qatar holding a World Cup. What do you reckon?
Well,
totally legit, innit? Totally legit.
I were listening to an interview, I think it was last weekend on Sky, and it were one of the representatives for the World Cup from over there.
Oh, I think I've heard this interview.
Would everybody be welcome? Would it be if people are wearing rainbow laces and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah, but you could just see him thinking no. But he just kept repeating that we just expect people to be respectful to his culture, which you know there's going to be, you know.
In the same way they've been respectful of the thousands of people that have died building their stadiums. What a stupid comment.
Look,
it's insane. I'm sorry. No, so for people who aren't aware, thousands of people have died building the infrastructure for this tournament. It's well known that they've shipped in Indians and Nepalese to Qatar because they see them as disposable. They've got terrible safety controls in that part of the world. Too many people have died building the stadiums, the roads, the infrastructure. And it's not even being talked about. Then you've got Qatari officials going, well, I hope everyone's going to respect the culture. Bollocks! You can't have stadiums built on the blood of thousands of people and then go to people, well, you've got to respect our... It's outrageous. It's outrageous. No.
Well, there's a lot of questions in sport at the minute about morals, stuff with World Cup, but with golf as well, with this new live tour that they're doing in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia's ploughed hundreds of millions of dollars.
Look, he's here. Look, he fell asleep. He's working too hard. Evening, Ducky.
Ducky's coming to NFAs, aren't you, Ducky?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in sport at the minute. Like I said, with this live golf, this new tour that they've made up, and they're basically pulling everyone away from PGA for money, and half players are staying loyal to PGA, saying that you've got no morals going over and playing in a country with no human rights, and basically other half are going, sorry for the language, but I don't care. I've just won 15 million on first tour.
Well, I'm going to say
the first winner, I think, got 15 million for his first.
First win. Did Tiger Woods not get offered $150 million to go play there?
I don't know.
I'm sure he got offered an absolutely obscene amount of money. He turned it down. But I read somewhere, I'm sure. I might be wrong. If someone knows, then tell me if I'm wrong. But I am sure I read somewhere that Tiger Woods or someone of his stature had been offered $150 million to go play at the live, in the live the live.
I know they're paying that money for prizes and stuff. I know.
Well, they can't they? If it's Saudi Arabia. Apologies, I was watching Jason's video of that fantastic Spitfire. See? Pivot doors are the coolest doors on earth. I will not have it said any other way. So there we go. So yeah, come on, Ian. Commit to coming to NFAs. You came last year. Got to come this year. I hope Fiona's going to come as well.
You know, one of the most useful things I've ever picked up from a company, and I got it on one of their open days. Can you see that?
I've got loads of them. They are useful.
GQA bottle openers.
Yeah.
I've had that 6 years. Always comes in handy. I always lose them, and that one's just sat there.
Yeah.
In room, I always tend to find it.
Speaking of golf, I was. It was some Dorian, and I'm hoping if you'd have come on earlier, we did a little segment on pivot doors and how they were going to find a new, niche to carve out in sales in our industry. And if anyone's any genuine thing, if anyone's got any questions or they like the idea of a pivot door, because I'm not being honest, they're not easy to sell. They're bespoke to the nth degree, so they're not. You haven't just got a brochure of standard sort of designs you can just whip out, and it is every detail is bespoke. You've got tech optional extras, fingerprints, LEDs. It's got automatic door closers. The bespoke nature of these doors it's not that easy to sell until you know about it, and then you've got the logistics of it. It takes 4 to 6 people just to offload a door, and then so logistically you have to plan. It's not just a couple of white windows you just bang in. It takes a lot of planning. But if anyone's got any questions about them, I'm happy to answer them. what I was going to say was, going back to the golf thing, Endurance invited me a few weeks ago to their charity golf day, which was about 5 minutes from their factory. And I didn't play golf. I am not a golfer. However, they did take me around their factory, Lee, and their new showroom. It is stunning, by the way. Their new showroom.
Yes, I've been told.
It is rather nice. They spent a lot of money on it, but it looks superb. And then we got a tour of the factory as well. And they're a rapidly growing business. It's going to be interesting to see how much market share they mop up.
I want to know how you got away without playing golf, right? Everything I went on, Fiona, I used to come to Fiona's golf days with her clients, and I got caught on camera swinging, missing ball. Honestly, I'm on bloopers reels and all sorts. I've still got them on somewhere.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, we should do a video on it.
I'll have to share them. Yeah. It's not pretty watching me play golf. Although, I had a couple of good shots on it as well that they got. But, how have you got away with that? I wanted to see your bloopers. Gonna have a word with Scott.
Because I just told Scott, look, mate, I said, look, I'm crap. I'm not. I said, I can't. I'll come. I'll even watch. I said, but I'm not playing because I am crap. He says, fair enough. He said, I'm not playing either. He says, do you want to go do the factory? I said, yeah. I said, my expertise are much better in a factory than they are on a golf club, on a golf course. So he said, don't worry. So me and a lady from a company down south, we had quite a personalised factory tour. We did some lunch and then we saw the showroom, and I was much more comfortable with that than playing golf. It was cold and it was windy as well.
Ian see my golf skills firsthand. Like a young Tiger Woods, me, weren't I, Ducky? Ducky were riding off golf carts.
How young? 6 months old?
Yeah. Ducky were racing around like you were a Formula One driver in golf carts, jumping over bridges.
I believe it as well. I believe it. Fiona Lund, she says, I'm happy to do a case study with a pivot door on my extension. Fiona wants a pivot. So, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't know if they'll give you one for free, but you can try. But no, but this is what I mean, Lee, about pivot doors. Like, people have come on and they've started talking about pivot doors. You just don't get that about any other product.
It's like I said, my eyes. I mean, you've been talking about them for a while, but like I said, we've got that customer down in London who's doing Chuko and Reynard's ones, and exactly the same. He says like the customers, the customers are inviting him back, saying if you want to ever show anyone it, feel free. Because there's that crowd of it, they don't mind other customers coming and having a look.
Well, this is what the client said. So my dad weren't available at the time on Monday, so I took him on Wednesday to see it. And I'm not exaggerating, the customer was like a child at Christmas. And he was showing me dad, even though we sold it to him, he was showing me dad everything it did. He says, look, you've got the lights in the handle, this is how the fingerprint works, and you've got the LEDs on the... He was almost selling the door to us because that's how excited he is. And pivot doors are perhaps the only product we have that could go viral on social media. They're the absolute ultimate luxury product in door world. And like I say, if you look at the engagement my social media posts have got with the pivot door compared to all my other tweets, I mean, they don't even come close. It's just absolute ultimate cool. 1,000,000%. So, yeah, I love them. Fiona's saying, Lee, golf day's never my bag, a ridiculous pursuit.
I've got to agree, Fiona, only because I'm terrible at it as well.
Ian Duckworth says, I've been discussing an NFA evening with Mr. H. So Ian and Mark are coming.
We've got Mark's definitely coming. I know that because so it'd be nice to see you there, Ducky. Callum saying might not be at the NFAs, but looking forward to Fenix. So will we, Callum. So
Fair
will
enough.
we. And we will see you there, and there will be plenty of chance to network there as well.
Kevin's saying,
Can't wait.
I'm guessing this is about.
And you'll get to meet Sarah for it will be for you who don't come to NFAs. You'll get to meet our new sales executive. We'll give it a posh name.
Yes.
Sales executive.
Kevin
so Sarah, you get to meet Sarah.
Mrs. Jones would still find a draft through it. I guess that's the pivot door. Kev, we've all got those customers, mate, who will never, ever, ever be able to please. Actually, on the draft proofing side of things, again, this is how cool. This is how cool the pivots are. So when the door closes in the outer frame, two weatherproof strips actually drop out from the bottom of the door slab. So they're not just flaps that just sit there and get knocked about every time you close it. They're hidden and tucked up away. So as the door slab closes and it clicks into place, your draft proofing actually drops down from the bottom of the door and into place in the outer frame. So it's completely neat, tidy, clean. I love it. I bloody love it. There you go. In fact, Lee, I could do a 2-hour podcast just on pivot doors. That's.
I know you love them, but we're not going to do that.
I don't mean now. Next time.
But we will. Like I said,
we should get Alid from Spitfire on here as a guest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you've been showcasing that one. The guy I'm talking to and some of the customer demos he showed me, they are different gravy. I mean, I remember going at Fit Show and seeing some of the bigger doors way back in 2015. I can't remember the company. There was a big German company that came across, and it was huge. I can't remember what that was.
It was RK Systems, wasn't it?
No, it weren't. It was a company that I've never heard of in this. I don't think they dealt in this country before.
Pivot doors haven't been around for that long. I mean, just to give you an idea, I think Spitfire as a business is only 8 years old, which obviously in the grand scheme of things isn't massively old. And they only do a handful of pivots a month, so as a product it's still relatively unknown. But what I would expect is for it, it is a product that could go viral. It is a product that could be driven sales-wise by social media coverage, because I mean, hell, you go on Instagram and you find pictures of the mega mansions, they'll have pivots on. So it is a product that could get, sort of super powered through social media. And at previous trade shows, I think I've seen one or two in the past, but they've kind of been tucked away in a corner and not really on show. But these are products that need to be the absolute focal point of any show, any major showcasing of a product. It needs to
So
be.
What are you saying then, Jason? Do you like them?
Yeah, they're all right.
Oh dear,
mate. Honestly, I was so excited when we finished fitting the door. It's so sad. I was so excited. It's a bit sad, but I don't care. I really like what I do on that side of things. So there you go. Kev said I might get one if I can find a pretty one. All pivot doors are pretty damn good. Yeah, so there you go. Sorry, we were talking about golf when we've meandered again to pivot doors. I'll always find a way to pivot doors. This is
what
my...
about we were talking before a lot of the people came on, and I think this deserves. Oh yeah, we'll have one more go because it's a while since we've done this. What's everyone on now? What we're drinking, everybody? I'm still on my Desperados.
Hazy Jane Peach.
One, I'm quite reserved.
Hazy Jane Peach.
Does make you want to burp. Desperados.
It does.
I think Ian has gone. I think he must be off either in the swimming pool or he's gone off to Disney World.
I would say he's on a roller coaster.
It seemed to have gone
To
quiet.
be fair to him, he spent about 45 minutes.
I know it's nice to see him because he's usually working and he's up at charity place. That's why he doesn't usually come on.
Yeah, catch.
Told me loads of times before.
But no, so for those, I mean, if you've got Ian on Facebook, you'll know he's in Florida at the minute. But he must have spent a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes commenting on
Let's have him on. Let's have him on. We need to get him on as a guest. We need to bend his ear. But it's hard because he's always busy.
Do you know what we could do? We could, and this is an idea that me and Lee are going to trial in the future. We could do it at their office, Lee. They've got a very good office with sofa space where we could do it.
Or even at Catch.
Yes, and they just done up like a youth club area, and I'm sure I've seen pictures online where they've got like big sofas, tables, and so on.
We'll have to have a word with him when he gets back. But on a lighter note, we were talking about this, but there were only about 4 of us on at time. I can't believe that Cracker's dead.
Yes, Hagrid. Robbie
Hagrid, yes, and I didn't know who Hagrid were. Never
Robbie
watched
Coltrane has sadly died. So about an hour before we came online, Robbie Coltrane passed away. Oh, it's really sad.
I'm not happy with that. That's not quite as disappointed as Rick Mail. Rick Mail that was a bad one, and Robin Williams. But Robbie Coltrane, I grew up with Robbie Coltrane and comedy. Lenny Henry and Robbie Coltrane and all that era.
Yeah. You said this was on a lighter note.
No, did I? I didn't mean.
Yeah. This is not a lighter note at all.
No, but it deserves a nod. It deserves a nod.
It does.
What a guy.
He was well loved. He was a genuine national treasure. I don't like that term because everyone gets it now, but he was a genuine, very well known, very well loved guy. Callum Williams on YouTube. I genuinely like to know the exact figure of how many influencers, I hate that word. It is so pithy and feeble sounding. Influencers have asked for a free one to promote to their followers, all of which couldn't ever afford them anyway, and neither could most. So, I've got to admit, there's quite a few companies utilising the influencer thing within our sector. And I don't blame them. You know, it exposes their product to a lot of people. How much that influencer knows about the product, however, there's quite... Well, go on, Lee. You want to chip in here? He's got a smirk on his face. Go on.
No, it didn't a smirk at all. I just had another shot from the other day. I didn't even know that either. But I would know the smirk was from you getting angry about influencers, like as if it's like a bad thing. So it just get angry about the weirdest things.
I'm not angry about it. I'm just
not angry. I'm just gonna turn my door off in a minute. Rip my paintings down.
I don't know, Mr. Jim Bob on Instagram, who's got 20,000 followers, has had a window fit from Joe Blogs Windows. He got it for free, and he's done a post about it, and that's it. That's all you'll hear about it. It's it's so shallow. But there you go.
Going back to the bad news, and this might be a little
people
bit
say I'm negative. Go on.
These are acknowledgements of legends. But this might be a bit old for you. You'll probably not. I know you're going to say. Go on. Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Just seen it.
She was 96.
She were older than the sun.
She was 90. She was old as the Queen. Oh, the Queen. That's what's happened since the last time we were on.
Now, God, yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute. Apart from Angela Lansbury, there's only one better detective. No, 2 better. Well, one's a duo.
Morse?
Morse. He can't even tie the shoe. He can't even tie laces of these.
Poirot.
Right.
Poirot.
No. Angela Lansbury was in third. Heart to Heart, the couple from Heart to Heart, Jennifer and Stephen.
I don't know.
They were second. But nobody will ever beat the detective skills of Columbo.
Wasn't he drunk half the time driving?
Just one more thing.
Columbo. Oh dear. Someone. Oh God. Someone wrap David Jason up,
Columbo,
please.
you thought you'd got away with it, and then he gets you. He goes, just one more thing, with his little dodgy eye that he had, and his jacket that he must have been wearing since he was 8.
Callum says he preferred Jonathan Creek himself.
If you got investigated by Columbo, you might as well just give yourself in, because he's got you.
Oh man,
he's got you. You never get away from Columbo.
Mate, literally the biggest thing to happen since our last podcast is the Queen passed away.
Yes.
And I've got to be honest.
Yes.
I don't mind having the royal family. I think they're a cornerstone of British culture that's older than most countries on planet Earth. So I don't see them as some flippant thing we can throw away, because culturally, you know, they're part of the fabric of Britain. But Jesus Christ, the Queen, at the one time where we needed something stable to stay around for as long as possible, she was it. And you know what, Lee? I was sad. I didn't know the woman. I understood her significance to the country. I didn't know her, but I felt sad. I remember it breaking the day she died, because it was on it started in sort of lunchtime that day, and then by the time I got home from work, about half an hour later, she died, and it broke on the news. And I just remember feeling all choked up as soon as they played the national anthem.
I'm just laughing at what Callum's saying. Sorry, not about Queen. Did you see that clip of when Truss came into
Yes, I loved it.
King Charles, I'm still calling him Prince Charles.
King Charles will not, even though he should, he'll not stay silent like his mum. He's got an opinion.
That were funny, that were really funny.
Well, can you blame him? He must be sat there going, what the hell have I walked into? He must be sat there just wondering what kind of shit show he's going to have to deal with every week. And mate, the Queen must have been thinking the same thing. She must have been sat there in Windsor Castle thinking, what the hell is going on?
As going back to the Queen very quickly, there's something that I'm impartial when it comes to the royal family. I haven't really got an opinion on it at all. Obviously, it's sad, because it's a very sad day for the UK, for the world, really.
Yeah.
But I'm not a royalist. I'm not against the royals. I haven't really got an opinion on it of any sort of.
You're indifferent.
Yeah. But what I've never understood, and this is not just about the Queen. This is not just about the Queen's death or a royal death, or it's about any death of anyone who's either famous or a political figure or whatever, or a leader or whatever they are. How people can celebrate a death, I just don't get. How they get excited and like go over the top of that. If you're a human being with any instincts of emotion, it doesn't matter who it is. There should be some remorse, some feeling of, even if it's not sadness, an acknowledgement of, oh dear, that's not nice. But there's people who do it all the time.
Disgusting. It's disgusting. This
even I've got a very, very strong, because of my upbringing with my granddad and where I lived and the background I had. Maggie Thatcher's the most hated person in the world. But even when she died, everyone was saying to me, oh, I bet you're having a party. It's like,
no,
you can't celebrate someone. Like, don't matter how much you don't like something or somebody. someone's just died. The family's grieving. I just don't get it. I've never got it. But there's people out there that do that.
Social media, and this is one of the bad sides of it all, has allowed people to just come forth with just this vile crap. And like you say, you don't have to love the royal family, but you can have some respect for a family whose mum has died. How would they like it if, a bunch of people on social media or even outside their house? Because remember, there were protesters around, when the royal family had to go, were dragged about doing the meet and greets, everything. There were protesters. How would they like it if a bunch of people turned up to their front door after their mum died and gone, she were this, she were that, she were... It's just...
There's a time for... If you don't like someone, there's a time to express your opinion if you want to. Well, everyone's got right to an opinion, but not just save it for a time that's not...
You raise a good point there, right? We seem to live in an age where people use the excuse of, it's free speech, it's my right to say it, to say whatever the hell they want, right? We've always had that, by the way. That self-censorship, that knowing when the right thing to say is and isn't, right? We've always had it. We had it in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, right? It's only recently we seem to have this portion of the public that just come out and say and do the most awful things and hide behind the excuse of free speech. I can say what I want. Like, yeah, you can say what you want, but there also used to be a time where people realised that but knew when to be sensitive, when to raise the point at a different time, when not to be a dick at the worst possible moment. We've always had it. We've always had free speech. We've never not had it. We used to be respectful in a better way. Thankfully, though, I think the Queen's passing. I think most people respected it quite well. It's only the small proportion of idiots with a loud mouth who sort of spoil it, but they always get a big platform anyway.
Ducky's lighting in the mood a little bit. Chip butter, pint of bitter. My influence rider doesn't cost a lot. With curry sauce too, says Callum.
Well done. I won't dwell on it too much.
Talking about food, by the way, I went to the doctor's about my weight the other day. And he obviously, unfortunately, put a bit of weight on since last time we come on. This is serious. This bit's serious. I am going to get some weight off. I'm trying. So I went to the doctor's the other day, and he said, don't eat anything fatty. And I went, what, like pies and chips? And he said, no, just don't eat anything fatty.
Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Well, I mean, the one thing I will last say on it, because I don't want to dwell on it too much, but we did watch the funeral, and I think you saw the best of British there. I think you saw how, and this is one of the reasons why I do like having a royal family, is it gives us a chance to show off to the rest of the world that when it comes to pomp and ceremony and procedure and control and just paying respect to something, there is no one that does it better than us. I mean, look at the Jubilee, for example, right? The pomp and the ceremony and the prestige and the party, no one does it better than us. And the funeral was the same thing. When it comes to sending someone off, when it comes to recognising someone of significance, there is no one better in the world than the Brits at pomp and ceremony. We bloody know how to do it well. So I think we sent her off well.
Yeah, it was very grand.
It's a moment of history. Think about it, mate. There was a stat I read. Most people on planet Earth that have ever lived have only ever known one queen. That's how long she was on the throne. Most people on Earth who have ever lived have only known one queen.
It's too early for that joke. That we're going to just say. I told you. About you.
What? What are you on about? Have I missed something?
There's only one other person been on throne as long in history. That's you.
Oh, dear. It's true, though. It's true. But yeah, so we've got a flag at work. We had that half mast. We changed his logos, as social media stuff to black. So, but yeah. I've got to say, mate, going back to what you said about all the nasty stuff, I've got to say, quite a lot of Americans made those nasty comments. There weren't that many Brits. It was Americans. And I found it...
No, I saw a few...
Yeah.
A few English, a few Scottish, there were a few.
Yeah, there were a few, but I did see a lot of Americans on social media.
Although, to be fair, there was a place in Scotland, and it was a chip shop owner who had put something on socials about having a party, and I can't remember exactly what it was.
What, a party because the Queen had died?
Yeah.
That's just...
And all the customers in the area came out, and literally they had to pack up and leave. They literally drove her out. Police had to come and escort them out. They had to move.
Because they reacted to what they'd said. Well, the thing is...
We've got jokes coming in left, right. See, this is what we create.
The thing is, just to say, the royal family is quite popular in Scotland. I mean, even if Scotland goes independent, they actually want to retain the royal family as a head of state. So they are very popular in Scotland, as far as I can say. Callum, I had a pizza in my pocket, a burger on my head, and a sausage roll under my armpit, and she said I wasn't eating properly. Kev, been a bit of a strange day. First, I found a hat full of money. Then I was chased by an angry man with a guitar.
It took me 2 reads of that. I'm thinking we're punchline. Sorry, Kev. Bit slow tonight.
Oh, man.
I've only done opportunistic jokes up to now. I'm saving one for later. I think it's a good one. Yeah, obviously, well, this is how long it is, mate. All these global things in news that have been happening. War started between Ukraine and Russia in between us doing this last one.
No,
They did.
Really?
They did, yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to have to check this out. Let me have a look.
Pretty sure.
Soph sent me a text.
I would have been talking about it if we were.
Well, Soph sent me a text saying, while we've been on, saying that apparently we've done 3 podcasts since Rose was born. Apparently.
They might have been uploaded. I don't think we've done any since Rose was born.
I'm just going to have a look now.
We haven't done any since Rose was born, mate.
That one. Let's have a look at that one.
Well, while you're having a look at that...
Yeah, 27th of May was the last one we did. And Rose was born on the 28th of March. So... but you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
When did war start?
You what?
When did the war start?
February.
We must have skimmed over that then. But great, anyway, talking about, obviously, everyone's talking about nuclear strikes and stuff. And
yeah, fun times.
It always brings me back, and I've got it. And even before this, I'm fascinated with stuff like this.
Oh, that's nice.
The film. I can't say it because I'm from Yorkshire, and obviously I'm waiting for my teeth to it. But Threads, Threads.
Threads, based in Sheffield.
Yeah, I can't say it because of me. But anyway, that is about what would happen if there was a nuclear bomb dropped in the UK.
Mm.
Good film. Reese, what they call him, famous actor, was in Bread and ID and probably loads of other stuff up to date that I don't know.
You know what you need if that happens, don't you? You know what will keep you safe? One of them pivot doors From Spitfire.
That won't be keeping it, you say, mate. Trust me.
Putin-proof pivots.
A bomb drops on the UK, don't matter how expensive your pivot door is.
Putin-proof pivots, that's what you want. Oh man, it's not good. Fiona's left a nice comment, by the way. Just the most lasting memory for me, she says, personally, will be the Queen's sitting alone during COVID and the wonderful tribute you did for Mark. Oh, Mark. Yeah, and the Queen as well. I mean, she got a lot of praise for that. I mean, she's always been a leader, but her husband died and she had to sit on her own in the chapel, if you remember, on her own. And we later found out Boris was partying the night before in Downing Street. So you had an old lady who couldn't say goodbye to her husband properly. And you had government officials and the Prime Minister eating and drinking together when everyone had to stay at home. Classy. Kevin, last one, he says, sad news, the Dutchman who invented inflatable shoes has just popped his clocks.
Go on then, I'm going to give you my last joke of the night. I thought PPI was something that you could catch if you didn't wear goggles at swimming baths.
Oh dear.
Told you they'd be bad
tonight.
Hey,
there's some truth.
PPI, something you can catch at swimming baths without goggles.
There's some truth to that.
You're having that.
There's some truth to that. Have you ever sat at a pool bar in a resort?
Probably not the cleanest of places.
No. Where I go, Caribbean, the nice resorts, you've got a bar set down and the pool's around it, and you've got about 6 to 8 seats where you're sort of partially submerged in the pool, but sat at the bar, and the barman serves you beer. And there's guys who just sat there for 2 or 3 hours, and you know full well they're not getting out of the pool to go for a wee. But there you go. Flipping heck, it's 9:25. We've been on for nearly 2 hours.
Another 10 minutes, and I think we'll call this first one.
We've covered a lot of ground, I think, today. We haven't been too bad. What we are going to do, we are going to now get back to this every 2 weeks. So it's mainly my fault for having another baby. It's kind of disruptive. But things are settling down a bit now. So we do intend doing
we'll
these.
Occasionally have a guest, not all the time, but occasionally have a guest on again.
Well, I'm going to see if I can rope Alid into this next time.
And any Spitfire doors subject, I think we should do, seriously, I think we should do him a separate one. Because if you... No, we will. Because I'd like to hear Alid's theories on other stuff.
He used to work for Vika, you know, Alid.
I want to know it. I want to know get to know him a little bit about what he thinks of some of the subjects that we talk about, like pizza or burger. Caribbean or European vacations.
Caribbean.
Hamsters or dogs. Golf or football. Halloween or Christmas.
He plays rugby, so neither.
Rugby or rugby league.
He plays union.
Yeah.
No, we will get him on. I think as well, I like the idea. So, for people who know, we've actually got the full podcasting equipment now. We've got cameras, we've got proper microphones. We can take this on tour now. It will be nice to sort of do these, Lee. Maybe not live, but maybe recorded ones in other places. Ian's not watching now, so I can't ask him, but Ian's got space at Morley Glass to actually do one of these with him. The Spitfire showroom in Macclesfield, we can go over there and do it with him. I'd like to do these in other spots. Take it on tour.
Well, I still think we need to do the the social gathering in hire a pub and do like a live one where it's a bit like, you remember like what we were saying about don't forget TGI Fridays,
Yeah.
and invite the audience to come
That'll be
in,
wild. That'll be wild.
have a few beers and make it a bit of a social. That would be epic.
Yeah.
We need to get that sorted for some point early next year.
No, you're right.
We've got too much going on this year with NFAs and
there's too much. There's too much to do before Christmas, I think.
Stuff,
yeah,
so.
but what? Yeah, I think in the new year though, it could be a good idea.
Yeah, I think so.
If we pick somewhere central as well, so people can come.
I think that everybody last year wanted to meet up, but it's hard. So if we can get somewhere central that's a bit, it's not going to cost anyone any money. We'll get a few bar sponsors. We can do one of these live, invite everyone down, have an audience.
This is the format. This is the format I'm thinking is we find a pub or a bar that we can hire. So I think we find somewhere central. We get a bar we can hire, like you say. There's maybe 3 or 4 of us. I think if we do that, it'd be nice to get a couple of guests on as well. Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Like I said, we've got all the equipment, we've got the cameras, we've got the mics. It's not a problem. And I think if we can get a crowd as well of like 20, 30 people, at least, maybe more if they want to. But do it live. So, crowds, people who are watching, they can ask questions, they can throw in comments, you can get live laughs and jeers and cheers. I think that'd be a really nice format to do it in.
I think also we will have to get some form of entertainment and some karaoke. So I want to hear what people sing like.
Why?
Just because you don't like it. I want to hear people's talents. Just because you don't.
Bollocks, no one likes karaoke.
Yes, they do.
Anybody in here like karaoke? And don't humour Lee. If you don't like it, just say you don't like it. Oh, Kevin will be on your side though.
Jason, just because you don't like it doesn't mean no one else.
You don't want to live stream the karaoke, do you?
No. Yeah.
Oh God. No.
You're wrong.
No.
Well, a bit of maybe even we've got some talented people in this industry. Bit of an open mic with karaoke. Some musicians.
As long as we're not live streaming it, that's fine.
I wonder if anyone on our stream is a saxophonist. I'd love to hear someone play a saxophone properly on
a bit specific, isn't it?
On a podcast. Well, people play guitar and drums, don't they?
Kevin's saying no, I think, to...
no, what?
No to karaoke, I think.
Kev's a singer and a guitar player.
He don't mean he likes karaoke. I think he prefers proper singing. If he's going to do proper singing, he wants to do it properly, innit? Ah, see? There you go.
Boo. We're still having it. Still having it.
You may just do on your own.
I don't care. I'll sing Spandau Ballet all night. And Arctic Monkeys.
Right, so I'll that's my task for the weekend. I'll try and find a central pub we can do it at. So there you go. Well, look, it's 9:30.
Be nice to.
I've enjoyed it tonight. I've enjoyed it tonight. So we will get back to it. The next one will be a couple of days before Halloween. That's the 28th of October. We may or may not be dressed up for it. It depends how much effort Lee wants to put into that. We might get him a fake beard to put on and some scary glasses. Scarier than the ones he's already got.
It depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I can get right Halloweeny and really go daft with it. Others I'm not in mood. It depends.
Well, warn me before we come on air because I don't want to turn up with note on and you're like fully gothed up. But no, I've genuinely enjoyed it. I have genuinely enjoyed it. It's been, like I said, it's been mainly my fault. We've had another baby. Life's been disrupted. We're making a lot of changes at work, which have taken up a lot of time. But things are sort of settling down now, so we can put some more time to this. So, 28th of October. What, Lee? What?
I've got one more joke, but it might be a bit rude.
Save it for next time then. Save it for next time then.
We're after cut off for being good and not having
Yeah, I
a
know,
problem.
but remember, we've got sponsors and stuff.
It's not that bad.
Oh God, that means it's bad. If that means it's really bad. No.
I went to a meet.
No. If you're laughing like that already, I can mute you from here. I can mute you from here.
I went to a meeting for premature ejaculators
Oh, God.
today. Turns out it was tomorrow. And on that bombshell.
It's time to go. Oh, dear. I'm telling you.
No, listen, everybody, absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you for the comments as well. A load of good comments on Facebook and
Anything
YouTube
you want to talk about next week, chuck your suggestions on Twitter.
Next 2 weeks. So the next, remember, October the 28th.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
October the 28th. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for
Tell your friends to join you as well. If you've got any friends, tell them to join us.
If you've got any.
Bring as many as you can.
Yeah. If you've got any friends, the word in, man.
You know what I mean.
Oh, Fiona's nice. That's nice. I had a shit week and Jason made me feel better.
Good. That's good. That I'm glad you're feeling a bit better, Fiona.
To be fair, we have a laugh when we do this. I know we talk about all sorts of stuff and some of it's serious, but we do actually have a laugh when we do it. We do enjoy doing it. But it's nice to be back. So we will be back every 2 weeks now. So, right, go and enjoy.
Ducky says we could do it like Noel's house party and go to someone's living room.
All right, yours, Ian. yours is first one.
I don't know why, but I was thinking about that Pat Sharp program, Funhouse. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We're talking about Noel's house party.
Well, Ian's idea, we can go to his first.
I met Pat Sharp in Mallorca. He was DJing in Mallorca. Well, I didn't meet him. He was DJing. Said, "Can you play this record?" And he said, "Fuck off. Sorry for swearing." But that were his words.
Did he? Did he not do it?
Yeah. Rude. I asked politely as well. It weren't like I weren't even drunk. It was just like, "You mind playing this, pal?" And they were like,
Didn't
"Oh, well, that was nice."
God. Miserable.
Still got his mullet at the time. Yeah, it weren't a very nice. It weren't very nice then. It must have had a bad day.
I'm glad we've made you feel better, Fiona. I'm
I
really
am.
Oh, Abby's here from Northumberland Glass. It's 9:30, woman. What have you been doing? Too late. I missed a good one as well. You'll be able to watch it on catch up though. So as soon as we finish the feed, I think within a few hours, YouTube has it ready to go.
2 weeks today, we're back.
Yeah, 7:30. Beers and Halloween at the ready. Go and enjoy your weekends, folks. Be good, be safe. Lee's just seen a ghost, and we'll see you.
I had a spider running around outside of me, but it's I don't know what it was.
Right.